Hello, Internet, and I'm back with the final book of the week, Justice League number 32. So, yeah, before I start, different format this week where I just talk about the one book, and then that's it for that video, and doing it for all the books I've read. Just check the playlist. I'm putting them all in the comic book talk playlist, and they're going to be in there in order. So, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this format. We'll see. Probably won't. I only did it because there's so many books I was reading that I didn't want to drop and not cover after having talked about them. Like this one. So yeah, Justice League 32, let's do it. So we start off and we're going through prison as Superwoman from the Crime Syndicate is singing to her unborn child. And then we cut to the next scene. I guess it says that she's 3 months pregnant in the thing of the Justice League info or whatever, or files. And we cut to the next scene, and you have it's like a flashback to 1 week ago, and you have this doctor. They call him the chief. I don't remember what his name is, but yeah, he's talking to Molecule Lady or something, Element Woman, and trying to convince her to join the Doom Patrol. And then he brings in the other members, Cliff Still. Then you have Radioactive. No, that's not it. I'm trying to skim through this to see where it's at. I think it's anti something something. Hold on, let me. Whatever. Captain Larry Trainer, that guy, and then finally they have Elastigirl. Because they have their real name and then their alter ego, but whatever. I'm sure they'll repeat it later on. So the doctor guy who's the chief is basically trying to get Element Woman to join the Doom Patrol. Like I said, I'm sorry. Was it her? Was that her name? Yeah, Element Woman. Okay. And then we cut back to when the Doom Patrol gets on the scene to take on the new Power Ring. Well, I guess before I continue, the Elastigirl's an actor, and then Element Woman is a fan of her. So she's all "Oh, I've seen all your movies, blah blah blah." But then I guess she agrees to it when we cut, because when we cut back to the Doom Patrol taking on Power Ring, she's there with them, and then and the chief is all right, let's take the ring, and in and out, bam splat, let's get it done. And then they're fighting with Power Ring, and it's funny because the ring itself is talking, so that's something that was in Forever Evil, the ring would be talking, and then the other Power Ring that's dead now was all I'm scared, whatever. And so the chief's trying to figure out how to get the ring off, and then the ring tells him that it won't come off until the current holder of it dies, so you have to kill her. And then he starts shooting at her. And then Element Woman's wait, what are you doing? And then he gets in his way and turns into this bulletproof element. And he's and then the chief's what are you doing? Power Ring's getting away. And he's alright guys, let's go after the Power Ring. And then everybody else in Doom Patrol's but all these buildings are on fire, we should jump in to save the civilians. And then the chief's no, we're gonna go after her now. We're gonna do what I say. And then before they can do anything, the Justice League shows up, teleports in, and they start rescuing civilians. And then I'm trying to find the specific scene. The chief says something about they have to prioritize. Yeah, prioritize. He's yeah, we have to prioritize. We can't just be letting the Justice League steal our thunder, but they've already done it. Or, I mean, I'm not sorry. Not that they've already done it, but, we need to get on the Power Ring before Justice League does, so we can get the ring first. I don't know why he's so obsessed with the ring, but yeah. So Justice League jumps in, and they're saving the civilians, and then the Doom Patrol is still going after Power Ring. But then it cuts back to LexCorp in Metropolis, and Captain Cold finally gets a chance to meet with Lex Luthor about the job position, and you find out that it is essentially just head of security, which is kind of funny. But yeah, as they're talking, you have a bunch of panels, and then it shows like the part when he kills, what's that guy's name? I don't remember. The Firestorm? Was it Firestorm? No, it wasn't Firestorm. It was the speedster guy. I don't remember his name, but that guy. And Lex is like, yeah, everybody underestimates you, Captain Cold, but I don't, which is why I'm going to give you a good job here as head of my security. And then you see the vial that they took his air quote samples or whatever when they were like doing all those tests on him, and it says well, it says his name and then it says test subject 1. So clearly there are some ulterior motives, of course, going on here with Lex Luthor on what he's doing with Captain Cold's genetic material, DNA, what have you. And then his like while they're like before they can finish their meeting, the Lex Luthor's secretary comes in and she's like, you asked me to keep you informed. The Justice League is just engaged powering and they're on the move. And so yeah, powering is like still fighting with the Doom Patrol, and then Cyborg is like, alright, Shazam, I'm gonna try to jump in and possibly hack the ring, or just at least scan it to see if I can get any readings off of it, so cover me. And he's like, alright, cool, let's do this. And so he does, and then Cyborg wow, did I say who's jumping in? Well, Cyborg is like, okay, I'm gonna try to get the ring and like scan it or like hack it or whatever. And then Shazam covers him, he jumps in, and then he gets like a link with it, but then the ring starts talking to him. And he's like, oh, so you want to see what's up with the ring? Alright, I'll show you. And then he like overloads him, but like the Cyborg gets like a bit of a glimpse into like who exactly is, or the entity within the ring, and it turns out to be Volthoom. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it is the former ring bearer of that ring, and they got cursed and sucked into it, and now they're basically just forced to watch the people that come into contact with the ring like have it until they die. But it only goes into the people that have fear and cowardice, pretty much. And like we finally learned the secret of why it went to Jessica, because she was in the woods hunting with her friends, and they saw some guy there, or two men dressed in suits working in the woods, and they were burying a body, and then the men in suits proceeded to kill her friends, but she got away because she ran like a coward. That was her secret. And then also it showed him I think it showed him a bit of the world that Powering was on previously, before the Crime Syndicate came in at the end of Trinity War, and like how it was like, basically just destroyed by some entity. But yeah, it's basically all it shows, and it just zaps him, and he's like, "Arr!" And then he's incapacitated, and it incapacitates Powering too. And then the chief's like, "Okay, this is our chance. Let's get her. Or let's get the ring off her finger." So like, let's get her. And then but like as he moves in to like do that, there's a speech bubble off page, and it says, "You're not going to get near that woman. It's been a long time, Miles." And then it's Lex Luthor, and he's basically about to, he gets like a sneak attack, sneak attack on him, and he's like grabbing him from behind, about to like, zap him. And he's like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. And then the bottom says next to Lex Luthor versus the Chief, so to be continued. Lex Luthor versus the Doom Patrol leader dude. But yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I don't know, dude. It's weird because it feels like it's been longer than it has been with this one, but I'm still gonna keep reading it because at least Lex Luthor's gonna be in the next one, and every time he's there, it's pretty fun. So yeah, I guess we'll see what's up with him and the chief guy, and then more Doom Patrol action, more Justice League action, more powering action. Will the ring be taken off finally, or will it just... Well, I guess I have to kill the ring bearer, but so it's probably not going to happen for a while, if ever. Unless they find a way to like get it off without killing her, so we'll see. But yeah, I gave it a 4, so I enjoyed it. Moved the story along. There was some good dialogue and good action, and the art was good. And yeah, this concludes my comic book talks for this week and all the books I've read. So this is the last one. The other books I've read this week, if you want to check them out, are in the playlist. So just, I think it'll automatically pop up on here on YouTube. So just, there should be a couple videos of whatever this week. And yeah, like I said earlier in the video, I will probably not keep this format going forward, but we'll see. And yeah, that's it for this video. So, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not, that's cool too. And until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching and listening, and I'm now signing off.